we go. It's good to be back. Hello. Yeah, I know everything looks weird. There's a door there. And there's what you've seen in the past, but over there, because that's where it used to be. It's where the cockpit is now. Still being worked on. It's not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all. If you haven't seen that, guys, go and follow me on social media and join my Discord. Everything's linked up in the stream description. Good to see everybody. AirRhodessa, good to see you. Let's first off by saying a massive thank you to AirRhodessa for this one, because he is the one who's given me all of these, all 5 recommendations. I have done live streams of this nature in the past. I have been to default handcrafted airports, freeware airports, available on flightsim.to, payware airports. If you're new to the channel, this is kind of what we do here on the channel. We have a look at the sceneries, the airports. Sometimes we like to fly some planes as well every so often. And obviously in the future we'll be using the home cockpit to do some full flights as well, which is going to be quite interesting. I think when I've got all my cameras set up and we can see the cockpit in action with all the lights and the screens on it, it's going to work out well. Yes, I do know I need the old hair trimmed. I will be getting that done. Off on holiday in 24 days, so yeah, the old mop head will be getting a chop. Don't you worry about that. Got the bigger screen on this time. I did actually put my smaller monitor up here, and I was using it for one of the past live streams, but yeah, this is back in now. A lot more screen real estate. I can see you guys. There's the webcam. There you are there. But yeah, so massive thank you to AirRhodessa for this one. He has taken some time and posted some, or rather messaged me a list of airports to check out, and I really appreciate this list actually, because it's gonna give everyone a bit more variety. And what I mean by that, a bit more country variety. We're not gonna just be staying in one country or just in Europe or just in America. We're gonna check off a few boxes with this one. So we'll be in Scotland, Japan, over in Germany as well. We're going to start off in Germany actually. Massive thank you to Planespot and Mike for coming in this evening, spending some time in the chat as well, and obviously being a moderators for the channel. If you haven't subscribed to Mike's channel, please go and do so. He provides us with all the real world aviation action from Liverpool Airport as well as Manchester Airport. He has, do you know what? He has been a very, very busy lad this last week. Loads of content from Liverpool Airport. Was at Manchester yesterday. He's at Manchester tomorrow to catch the 747 back over in Manchester. I wish I was there, but I've got to stay in, unfortunately. I've got some home cockpit related deliveries, so I can't go anywhere tomorrow, unfortunately. But I hope everyone... did I turn my mic on? I did. I was going to say. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's watching. It's a bit of spit there. Thank you to everyone who's watching tonight and spending some time with me on this one, and obviously everyone who's going to be hopefully re-watching the live stream. And if you haven't seen any of these, that's great. If you have seen some of them, you might see some that you've never been to in the sim before. You never know. On Wednesday, I will be back for another live stream. I'm trying to get live streams back on the channel regular, just as I've just been really busy. There's loads of stuff going on in sort of life in general. There's one big thing that I can't actually tell you for a good couple of weeks. Just before I go on holiday, I'll let you all know via a live stream, whatever live stream that may be. But yeah, yeah. We've got one on Wednesday, 8 PM. We're gonna have a look at the new because guys, I tell you what, there's been about, I think the creator of Project Airports has told the Discord earlier on, about 200 new users onto his platform in the last day. So on Wednesday, I know there's been a couple of videos come out from various creators, but on Wednesday live, we're going to start off by we're going to be selecting a plot of land somewhere in the UK, and we're going to build an airport using this new online airport creator, and we can sync it right up into the sim, and we can use it in the simulator as a proper airport. No SDK knowledge at all needed. So it's going to be exciting, and we're going to have a little look at that on Wednesday. I should have really done it today, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. I'm glad that we're going to have a look on it Wednesday. Anyway, let's get going. Thank you everyone for spending some time. I feel a bit out of practice, if I'm going to be totally honest, and it is a bit warm in this room, so I apologise if you start seeing a few reflections in the skin. Right, let's get into it, guys, and let's have a little look at what we're doing today. So we're going to have a look at more handcrafted airports. These are all created, if you didn't know, by Gaia Simulations. There is a couple in the simulator that Gaia Simulations didn't do. It is worth noting, but for the most part, this is these are all Gaia Simulations sceneries that have been obviously part of world updates. Okay, and I'll try and give you the world updates in order. Let's get into this now. So, can anyone tell me where this is? Any guesses in the live chat? Let me know. I won't spend too much time with the guesses, but let me know if anyone knows. I know AirRhodessa you will know, so you can't guess. But what's it called? Bryant International Airport. We might do, or Bryan Airport. Bryan Airport. What about that? No, do you know what? I'm trying to look at it in like a realistic type of airport that, you know, maybe that wouldn't be created, but, you know, yeah, you know, realistic name maybe. I don't know. We'll have a little look, but yeah, Bryan International might be good. Yeah, Bryan International. Anyone know what this airport? We're in Germany. What German airport is it? Let me know in the live chat if you know. But this is the first one we're going to take a look at. And obviously, I've got to be very generous with the time on these because we've got 5 to look at. I want to spend a bit more time on the later ones because I feel like the last 2, number 4 and 5, are probably the least well known. I feel like the ones that we're going to have a look at first are going to be a bit more well known and you know, have been out a bit longer, and people may know them a bit more. Mike says Munich. It is Munich, mate. Well done. It is Munich. I feel like Frankfurt kind of is like jumbled up, isn't it? Frankfurt's like really mixed up. I've also noticed as well, if I don't click on the main screen anymore on my sim, it kind of slows down a bit. So I do apologize if it isn't active on my main screen. It'll feel a bit like jumbled up as well. No, you've got it right, mate. You don't need to go through all of German airports, but it's a good strategy, I must admit, mate. Right. So as I say, this was what was this one? This was? I know it's Munich Airport. This is World Update 18. We're going to be looking at World Update 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 on this live stream. So again, I didn't actually realize it, but they're all in order. So we're not in order of numbers, but AirRhodessa has put them in a nice little neat order for us. So we were looking at World Update 20 and 16 towards the end. But yeah, we've got a nice little array of countries going on. We'll have a little look at Munich first, and then we'll be over to Scotland. Can you believe it? So let's have a little look. As I say, Gaia Simulations providing the scenery for us on these World Update airports. Now, I've said this a couple of times in live streams. These are very easy to kind of forget or just completely miss, because if you don't activate or download, obviously within the case of Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, it used to be downloaded, but now we can just kind of stream them. We can still download them to the hard drive if we must or we need to, but yeah, so if you don't activate any of these, because I feel like World Updates, you know, they put out all the trailers and the screenshots and all the, you know, the lovely marketing stuff for it, but I don't feel like every user will take full advantage of of these new updates, meaning that you will probably never see them. And when you do finally activate the world updates, you can't, you won't visit these airports because you might not fly in that part of the world. So I feel like when I do these live streams or videos, that hopefully I kind of pass on these sceneries and kind of make simmers a bit more aware that they do exist. And with the likes of Munich, you've got a lot of variety, haven't you? You got your business jets, you've got your airliners, you've got your long haul, you've got your short haul routes over in Europe as well. And also as well, you'll probably will notice with Gaia simulations, and I don't think they'll mind me saying this at all, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that I feel like as soon as it started getting to kind of World Update 19, so they've all been fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I feel like we started seeing this just even more detail be added in. Like a lot of detail, just like World Update Australia, for example. World Update, was it 21? I think it was, wasn't it? World Update 21, the Australian airports were so good. Like, they were so detailed. I mean, apart from this little elevation issue that makes the roads look a bit like half pipes, like skateboard ramps. But the quality of the airports and the actual scenery itself. I mean, you've got the bridges over the taxiway here as well. Sorry, you've got the outer roads with the bridges over the kind of the internal airport roads as well. Have they got collision on them? Yeah, they've got collision on them. So if you've got a road vehicle, you could actually easily, use a land vehicle to go across that, or your avatar would be able to cross over there as well with it having collision on there as well. When you asked me to pick 5, I hadn't really checked out many handcrafted airports. I have now seen them all, added screenshots of all of them to my website. That's also another good point, guys, as well. What I will say is I have linked AirRhodessa's website into the live description or video when you're watching this, guys. I do recommend going into there and have a good look around his website. He has spent a lot of time perfecting that and researching, and it looks fantastic. But I think the real thing for me on the website is just the time it's taken. There's a lot of text, a lot of pictures, but also it's not just that. The time it's taken to actually go off and research these sceneries, I know from experience, I can confidently say that loading the sim up, going to all these places and having a good look around, it takes a while. And then obviously then to go off and build a website and document it all down, it's a fantastic resource and a free one. It's a free resource. You can go on the website. You've got, photogrammetry cities, you've got the default airports now on there as well, and you can discover more than you actually thought was available on the sim. Just Munich, you can download, you can buy as a payware, and there's a large chunk of these handcrafted sceneries in the sim that you can buy as a payware. I think in some cases, yes, some of the payware has just got that little bit more detail here and there. But if you look at this now, I mean, look how intricate it all is. Look how much detail you've got. The custom foliage, you've got all the signage, all of the modeling and the texture work is fantastic on these buildings. So yeah, you can go and buy a payware version of this. I think Simworks, or is it Simworks that do this, or Simwings? Simwings does a version of Munich, and it's fantastic. It is a brilliant one. But you know what? For a free default one that you can just, it's there for you. Just get the world update and it's yours, Hey, good to see you, Sound Studios. Good evening. It's been a while. It has. Are you sure it's Munich, Brian? Looks like Heathrow. It does look like Heathrow, doesn't it? I mean, it's got the same layout, except the runways are slightly off. Heathrow, the runways are very parallel. You know, they are very parallel. These ones are just off. Still parallel, but they are slightly off. You know, Heathrow, if you're looking at sort of this way round, you got London over there. You've got 27. Hang on, 27 right over here. 27 left over here. And obviously Concorde there. But you are right, mate. I mean, if you're looking at it from here, it really does resemble Heathrow. You've got, you know, the BA inverted hangars over this way in the centre. Yeah, I mean, you can see the resemblance. I would say Heathrow is bigger. A lot longer. Or just more tightly compact. But yeah, it's a fantastic... fantastically modelled airport. Have we got a interior to this? Let's have a little look. We do have an interior. Now, one of the biggest things I've noticed that Gaia simulations don't really do. Now, they did add some passengers into Corfu because I think a lot of people asked. I don't know, we touched on it on the live stream for Corfu and said, you know, it needs some static people in, or any kind of passengers, and you'll see it here. They have actually put collision in there. You can't go in there without probably the developer camera, but you'll see, you know, it's quite a decently modelled interior. It's definitely not on the level of what we would get more recently with Gaia simulations, not at all. And I'd imagine this area now is probably more up to date. I'd imagine this is completely open now. This apron is, you know, available for aircraft. But it is. I mean, look at this. All the hedges. You know, and this is going back. What did we say this was? Was this World Update? This is World Update 18. And I still think there's a lot of detail in this one. It's just, as I say, you know, I know there's a lot of, there's an allure, there's a kind of a thing that drags us into buying payware sceneries, you know, when it is available. And I feel like with handcrafted scenery, free handcrafted default sceneries like this, it has to be one of two things. It really has to be an airport that you're using very, very regularly. Like, it's your go-to airport, one of your go-to airports, and some developer brings out a payware version, and it's so detailed that you really have to have it because it's your airport. Or it's your local airport. You fly from there. You know it. You either work there or you just, you know, you travel a lot from it. Again, another reason to go off and buy a payware version, even if there's a handcrafted version. Again, I'll use Liverpool as an example. Liverpool has got a World Update version, very, very nice version, but it's nowhere near as good as the Innie Builds one. Let's nip that in the bud. Has this has actually got a full collision on it as well. I think when you go off and buy a payware, and this is definitely not correct for all payware sceneries, but you may get more buses and taxis. You may even get animated vehicles going up and down, you know, landside the roads, and people walking up and down. People outside the airport. I think for me, the default handcrafted sceneries, that's what they lack a bit more of. And I understand there's obviously there's optimizations, there's frames to look out for, because let's not deny it, the buildings, they're very well modeled, and the texture work on them is fabulous as well. You know, these are payware quality airports. They definitely are. Such a shame Loganair scrapping Embraers soon. That's a bit of a shame. But I do like Loganair using the ATRs though. I think I found a way in through the side of the building with the drone camera. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, you can do, can't you? Sometimes it won't. It'll just get you straight onto the roof, but you can just use the development camera as well. You can just use the development camera, but as I say, these interiors, in my honest opinion, these are very good for just the detail of being on the stand in your aircraft in the cockpit looking through. It does need some static people. They really do. Same for the control towers as well, especially for control towers with such detail, and again, interiors as well. You know, if you popped a few little static people in there, doesn't matter if they've got ATC uniforms on, you're still gonna see them. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're on stand here, you're still gonna see them, even in the control tower as well. Let's have a little look. Massive control tower here. Again, collision on there. I'm not going to get the development camera activated because there's no point. But you know, when you look inside here as well, look at the amount of glass and steel, and that's probably also got. Oh no, there's no. That's good. There's no collision in here, and I don't think there needs to be. Loads of detail. Again, you're not going to see any static people. That's the problem. That's the problem. There's the Hilton Hotel. Look at the amount of glass here as well. Do you know what? Again, I have already said thank you to AirRhodessa, but I'm going to say thank you again because I'll be honest with you, I don't think I ever took a look at Munich in its default form. And I think it's wonderful. I think it's a hard sell when you do a payware version, because again, you are only going to be catering for the very specific people who need a payware version. They need it to be very detailed. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to open this door, and to be honest with you, I don't want to show you the mess outside there. Oh, that's a bit better. That's got a bit better. It's free, it's very nice. Exactly, yeah. Next task fair, February or June. Hopefully it's February and you start going back to having 2 a year. Where's all the planes? We haven't got any live traffic on at the minute, mate. I suppose we could put some live traffic on, couldn't we? But I mean, we're not going to be spending loads of time on each airport, because I feel like with it not being a specific airport show, if you like, you know, a live stream that we're focusing just on one airport, I've got to get through another 4, so I've got to be careful with time. Otherwise, I've got absolutely no time to look at the last 2, which I feel like are the more obscure ones, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like many people may know there's a default handcrafted Munich airport because of its size and because it's it's an international airport. But you'll be able to start seeing some planes going in there. There we go. There's a lofty A380 in the classic livery there. Look at that. Not in the, no, sorry. Is it in the classic livery? It is in the classic livery. What I'm going on about it is, isn't it? A few Condors, some Emirates in there, Finnair A350 as well. There you go. Look at that. That looks beautiful now, doesn't it? Some lot Polish aircraft in there as well. Now, this does have a Munich, I'm pretty sure, has its own little... Yeah, there it is over there. It has its own little mount. Well, I say little mount. It has a massive plane spotting mount. And it's just over here. But I feel like... Have they not done it on the Gaia Simulations one? I'm pretty sure they had. Kind of. So on the SimWings version, this is a bit more modelled. And this is an official plane spotting area at Munich. And I'd love to go here. You got the, you know, you got the aircraft going over the bridges and the taxiways as well. Getting some pop-ins there. We've got an Audi dealership there. Look at that. Not a dealership, probably like a factory, or I don't know. Maybe they send the cars off in the aircraft cargo sort of situation over there. It's half there. Yeah, I mean, it again, the Sim Wings version is a bit more modelled, and obviously that is the kind of thing that I mean with this payware. The payware will just have a bit more to it. Do you know what? That again, that statement isn't true for all payware versions of airports. You know, there's many that don't even touch the Gaia Simulations version. You know, the free default version. Some of the paywares that you might unfortunately, you know, buy for cash may not be as detailed, and sometimes that it is the case that it is the sad case that you may pay for a payware airport, and it just might not be what you think, and it might be that these handcrafted ones that come in the sim that are free for you to activate or download or whatever you are actually a lot better. Look at this footbridge over here. It's a train track. Look at this. Has this got actual? Looks like your avatar will be able to actually walk over there. It's a bit incomplete, but pretty nice rendering of the blue sort of shaded glass. Do you know what? It's not bad at all. They haven't kind of modelled the tracks in, but there's a train down there further along. It's not the best I've seen kind of to simulate tracks, but again, it's free. It's part of the sim. If you want a European airport, you know, and an international one, this is definitely more than acceptable. And again, definitely payware quality to the point that it looks, you know, like Munich Airport. Very nice indeed. Look at that. You know, and again, the one thing that I will say with these airports is I don't expect them to ever be updated. That's the sad reality of the free handcrafted airports. I don't expect them unless Microsoft and Asobo talk to Gaia Simulations and say, listen, I don't know, for example, Munich Airports had this big update, this big redevelopment. What do we think about getting it into the sim? Sure. But I don't think it's like, for example, this is probably open now. This whole area on the apron here is probably open. I'd imagine it is. Someone can correct me in the chat or in the comments afterwards. But you know, that's something that I don't feel like Gaia Simulations or Microsoft are gonna go in and kind of open up, are they? With a payware scenery, there's a bit more of a not a community, a bit of a, you know, there's a Discord behind it, there's pages, there's Facebook groups, there's, you know, blah blah blah, there's lines of communication, and whoever it is, any builds, Simwings, or people can say to them, listen guys, the pier on Terminal 1 doesn't look right, can we get it sorted? The apron way is done now, can we get that open? I'm good to see you. I'm good, mate. Nice to see you. But yeah, that's probably one thing I've never ever really discussed about these handcrafted default airports. The future proof of them. The updates, they're not really gonna get them, I feel. They might do every so often, maybe, but I don't think. Was there a rocket taken off from Munich then? I don't think there's going to be updates in the sense of what we see on a payware. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's get into the next one. What time are we on now? Yeah, I think we should. Let's have a little look. Right, we are off to Echo Golf Papa Bravo. And without cheating, someone can tell me what that is. I'm staying in the little Piper just in case. Echo Golf Papa Bravo. Sumburgh. I think I'm saying Sumburgh. Is that right? And we're going all the way to the tip of Scotland. I've got live weather activated. I'm just going to take the time up. Now, this one, again, I feel like people actually may not know this exists. Because I know Asobo and kind of Microsoft did include some of the Scottish ones, like Barra, and what was the other one? Outer Skerries is the other one. There's loads of different sort of airstrips and airfields and gravel strips in Scotland and beached, beach ones. But I feel like people may forget that Sumburgh was modelled in as well. I was in China for a long time. They blocked every Western social media like Twitch, YouTube. Oh my god. No way. No way. No way. Oh man. Luckily I'm not I'm not going anywhere there. I'll be heading back to Czech Republic. Be heading back to Prague in 24 days. Funny enough, we were saying this the other day. We were like, you know what? We booked that holiday when it was on like 96 days to go. So we've had the EasyJet thing up on our phones, and I'll be like counting down from 96 days, 80. I was like, oh, now it's 24. So, but I am a bit excited because obviously, as an av geek, we're always excited to go on holiday because it's a holiday, but we get to go on a plane regardless of what that plane is. But I'm excited as well because it's the first time I've flown out from Terminal, not Manchester, but Terminal 2 at Manchester. And with the amount of renovations and the fact that it looks brand spanking new, I'm excited to go and explore that new terminal and obviously go on holiday as well. But yeah, should be exciting. But yeah, Sumburgh up in the very, very top of Scotland. This is also a handcrafted default airport. Now, this goes back, this one, doesn't it? This is one of the older ones. World Update 17. We actually have an older one. In fact, the last airport we're going to look at was actually World Update 16, so this is not the oldest. But, it's getting there. And again, you might think, probably not as detailed as what we've seen more recently with Australia or Japan or even Brazil. But it's still a handcrafted airport. It's still a more authentic replica, a more authentic rendition of the airport that's here, rather than the the stupid auto-generated buildings. What's quite interesting here is we do have. I'm not at all familiar with Sumburgh, but I know, according to Gaia Simulations, there's some Black Hawk helicopters here, so there must be some military presence at Sumburgh. In terms of the airport, I think is it Loganair sending the ATRs? Let's just have a quick little look on Trusty Flight Radar. I do apologise if you can see the sweat already, because it is a bit warm in here now. It has cooled down considerably in the UK now, so I am thankful for that. But this is a small room, and the fact that I'm building a home cockpit in here with more screens. It's not a. It's gonna be fun. So look, basically, your Loganair ATRs, ATR 72, ATR 76, sorry, ATR 42s, just ATRs. I don't know if there's anything bigger in here. I think probably just the ATRs, just the props. I'm gonna have a little look though and see if I can have a better look at. So I don't think it's military. I think they've just used whatever aircraft they could. I think this is actually Coast Guard. This is actually, from the looks of it, the Sikorsky S72. The S72 Sikorsky. So I think on this apron is where you're going to find the Scottish Coast Guard, not military. And I'm sure someone will end up correcting me on that one. It's getting warmer again. Yeah, apparently it's going to be going back up again. So no rest for the wicked, eh? More lovely boiling weather when I'm trying to get this done. You can actually see they've put the Coast Guard signs on there. So that's pretty cool. But as you can see, they've had to improvise with the models and use some Black Hawks in there. I don't even think we've got a Sikorsky 72 in the sim yet. I'll be totally honest. I know there's been a lot of amazing looking helicopters added to the sim recently, but I don't think we've got a 72. They are massive and they're so loud. We used to get them over here by the Children's Hospital. But yeah, I tell you what, have a little look at the control tower. Again, there's collision on the control tower, but we can see the actual detail in that. It's pretty nice. Now, I did realise that I didn't check any of the night lighting out of Munich, so just before we move on to the next airport, I will do that because I'm absolutely terrible when it comes to night lighting, more so in these kind of compilation streams because there's so many airports to look at that it is very easy just to miss the night lighting out. So I will go back to Munich and just turn the lights off just to have a little look because I am curious to see what the night lighting is like. Some of these vehicles, in fact, I think most of these vehicles are going to be the Gaia Simulations models. That's why they are incredibly detailed. No collision in these. But you can see there's full interiors to the vehicles, and that is not just the fire engines. It's going to be the tugs and the trucks and stuff like that. You can see how weathered and dirty the buildings are as well. So the modelling and texture work is. Do you know what? If you go back on the channel, just flick through the videos of mine and go all the way back, you'll actually see some of the old Gaia Simulations airports. And they were always beautiful. They were always fantastically made. So it isn't any surprise for me that Microsoft and Asobo decided to use Gaia Simulations and to do these handcrafted airports. And obviously it does take the stress away from the team there because, I mean, I say this a bit loosely, but it gives Microsoft and Asobo a bit more time to bug fix and where we need it to be, while Gaia can focus on the modeling and the texture work of these sceneries. Now look at this. Look at that. That is fantastic. That is gorgeous, like the detail. I mean, the fence doesn't run all the way along. I'm not too sure if that would be a fence I mean, it says it's restricted personnel. It doesn't run all the way, so yeah, I mean, it's like the Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi show where there was the restricted access point and everyone always jokes, there's a meme about him just being able to walk around the side of it. But just anyway, on its own, that is beautifully done. Like that looks fantastic, and then when you look at the actual photogrammetry of the rocks and the hills in the background, yeah, that's definitely a picture. That's definitely a picture. Definitely a screenshot there. Did it even take a screenshot? You got it? Yeah, there we go. That is lovely. For people who love this scenery, like myself and AirRhodessa, I know a load of you other guys do also love it. But if you start messing with the lighting as well, oh yes, look, yeah, there we go. Yes. Is it turned into that stream? What am I doing? Ooh. Scenery porn. Look at that. I'm going to be taking about 1,000 pictures just at different intervals in the lighting because it just looks incredible, man. Early in the morning. Let's see what the night time looks like. Look at that. You know, we're away from the big city. We're out in the, you know, I won't say Scottish countryside, the Highlands, because we're away from all that, you know. Look at that. Fantastic, isn't it? And then when you just get that lighting correct on that on the side, you can see that the texture work is also marvelous as well. If you get it there as well, just with that orange light coming up in the morning as well. Just fine tune it. Oh, hang on. I know what the comments are going to be when someone potentially re-watches this live stream. The guy just sat there and played with the sun and the thing in Scotland for about 20 minutes and didn't actually show us any airports. Sorry. Last one, I promise. I think that one there as well just gets the lighting. And then obviously if you've got an aircraft coming in on that runway, it's going to look even nicer as well, isn't it? I was shocked when I seen that so detailed. It is good. And then when you also look at the rocks here as well. Look at this. Look at the rock detail here. And then the actual custom structures here for the lighting as well. Guys, the light's not right. It's pointing that way. Oh. I found a bug. That's not supposed to be like that, is it? Also, the lights are there as well. Oops. Oh, spit everywhere. Yeah, something good with the lights, but anyway, let's carry on. The rocks and the you know what I guess photogrammetry, the detailing of the rocks is fantastic as well. And I imagine we're going to have that all the way around. There's also another one here where we were at that one there, weren't we? There's also this one as well. Also one just here. It's fantastic, it really is. This is why we love it, mate. I appreciate it, and again, I appreciate your time. You know, even if it took you 2 minutes to get the list to me, it don't matter. It's still a fantastic list. And you know what, Sumburgh, I actually was aware of Sumburgh being, you know, a handcrafted airport, but I don't think I've had a look at it like this before. And I don't think many of you guys, or at least people rewatching potentially, I don't think many people are actually. They realised how nice it. Look at this. Look at all the moss and the green in the rocks. I mean, the texture work on the side could do with a bit of fixing. The lights sideways as well here. Yeah, I'm not too sure. That's a bit disappointing because, I mean, if you look at that, it looks so realistic, but the lights are they've messed up. It's actually some ATR, Logan ATRs there on the side. Let's have a look at some more detail on this, folks, because we've got some elevation changes and some roads. We've got some little boats here as well. I think, you know what, outer Skerries, Scotland, the shorelines around Scotland, they look brilliant in the simulator. They look really nice, and if you're one of those people who likes to download and buy some of the drivable boats, the ships, the yachts, this is probably a nice area to go and explore with those. They're really, really nice. I never seen it until you asked me to pick 5. Oh, right, okay. Nice. Am I doing your work here? Am I giving you a little review without you actually having a look at it? It don't matter to me. I did know this was one, but I haven't actually had a look at this in greater detail. It's also quite interesting. The terminal is giving me kind of Irish vibes, Belfast City vibes, kind of the regional stuff over in America. In Ireland, rather, sorry, if that makes sense. That's kind of the the vibe I'm getting from the terminal there. I don't know if anyone else gets that as well, but VOR station right up on the top of the hill here, overlooking the airport as well. Quite a few runways as well here, isn't there? If you have a little look. Sorry, there's two runways. There's one that was a runway, completely closed off now, but you can actually see that, you know. Could be wrong in saying this. Could have been a military. Could have been something to do with military back in World War. With the scenery, the location of it might very well have been up in, you know, to the well, by the North Sea. Definitely a strategical point, and quite a decent sized runway. You might even get something a bit bigger than the ATR into there. I'm sure they've probably seen some military movements over the years. Let's have a little look down here. I did completely forget about this. There's a little bit of a dock here with some boats. So again, Gaia Simulations have done some little bits of detailing around, and I'm probably gonna, you know, miss some things around here. You know, if you're looking at this is, I'd imagine this isn't going to be your active runway. They're probably always going to be using, and funnily enough, the same runway designation as Liverpool and Heathrow, 2709. But if there is ever a use for this runway, which for me is, hang on, that might actually be an active runway. It's helicopter. Sorry, it's helicopters. That's why it's that weird short thing. Helicopter runway. If they're ever using 3.3, they do have this to kind of navigate. Which, by the way, looks gorgeous. I mean, this is what you're getting from Sumburgh, if you were wondering. This is the scenery around it. I don't know if this is anything to do with Gaia Simulations, but it does look like it's kind of yeah, it definitely is. I mean, even if it wasn't to do with the airport and it's already there, Gaia Simulations do all the points of interest and all the, you know, the handcrafted landmarks and stuff like that. So either way, Gaia Simulations are the brains behind all of the surrounding custom buildings. And for me, this is probably something that had to be included because of how close it is to the approach into that particular runway. Let me just have a quick look over here, because it looks like, look at this though. Again, if you're one of those people who likes getting the drivable land vehicles out, I mean, you've got a lovely little road. Look at this. Again, this might have been part of the scenery anyway. It might not even be anything to do with the airport, but look how... yes. Look at that. Hey, James, good to see you. I'm alright, mate. What have you had to delete? Where are you flying? I'm not flying anywhere, mate. And Mikey, that doesn't really need to be deleted, mate, if I'm going to be totally honest. I thought someone was calling me an idiot or just saying the guy's sweating too much, he looks like a pig. That don't need to be deleted, mate. And I can't even change that now. Don't know if we can get that back on. I apologize, but no, I'm not flying anyway. We're just having a look at some scenery. Hello, good to see you. I think there will be a clearance, but not much of it. No, not much, to be honest with you. Again, James, good to see you, mate. It was the message before that. Oh, I didn't see that, mate. I didn't see it, mate. Sorry. Did not see it. I just saw the... I just saw where are you flying. So, guys, listen, I'm not flying anywhere. If you haven't got anything nice to say in the chat about not flying an aircraft, then you clearly haven't been on the channel before. But no, I'm not flying anywhere. We're having a look at the scenery. Yeah, so DF Flyer brought 8 sceneries. Yeah, no, I I completely understand you doing that, because he does fantastic sceneries for cities. They are lovely. I don't know if this is a rotating lighthouse, but it's definitely not kind of, it's rotating, but it's lit up very nicely. But yeah, we do a bit of flying on the channel, you know, every so often. When the home cockpit is completed, then sure enough there will be, you know, some flying in the home cockpit, and you know, a bit more of that if people like to see that. But this channel is mostly to do with the sceneries included within the simulator, whether it's a payware or freeware, or like we're looking at today, we're looking at 5 handcrafted default sceneries. So these are sceneries that you are actually, I wouldn't say hidden, but they're in various world updates, so very easily missed, because as you guys know or may not know, world updates they're not just activated or download onto your sim. When they're brought out, I think that's another good thing to actually point out as well. I know a lot of you guys watching will know this, and it's not meant to be patronizing at all, but world updates and these extra scenery items, landmarks, with all the world updates that Microsoft put out for free, by the way, it is worth saying that these aren't just, they don't appear in your simulator. You actually have to go in and either download them or activate them. So, you know, I've seen it a lot on forums and groups and comments, not just on my channel, but you know, all the way through the internet, where you know, when it is related to the flight sim, you know, oh, I haven't got that airport. How did you get that airport? And it's because these airports are introduced in these updates, and people either don't download them because, let's face it, if you don't fly in Australia and you're not bothered, let's be honest, and let's not be disrespectful to Microsoft or Asobo or even Gaia Simulations. If you don't fly in that area, if you're not bothered about Europe or you're not bothered about Japan, it's not somewhere that you would benefit from installing or activating somewhere. You're not gonna ever see them. You're not gonna ever see them. And my streams and videos aren't there to be like, you need to go and download them now, even though the title is you must go and explore. It's no bother. It's free. If you don't like them, you don't need to keep them. You can either delete them if you download them, or you can just deactivate them. But honestly, you'll be surprised. And I think some of the ones that we've featured on the channel in the past and on the stream today, you'll be like, oh, hang on, that's actually pretty cool, and I wouldn't mind trying to land there anyway. And then you might be looking at Munich and going, do you know what? I've never flown into Munich. There's a handcrafted default version. It looks really nice. Let me have a little look at a route that Lufthansa do, or Eurowings, or whoever, and you might start using that airport a bit more. And it might be like, you know what, mate? Actually, I didn't ever think I wanted to do a flight from Munich to Poland or whatever, and you'd be like, it's actually really, really cool. You know, it's one of those. It'll be like this. If you like using the ATRs, you might look at Sumburgh and go, do you know what? The scenery is, you know, bloody gorgeous. I'm going to start doing some ATR flights through Scotland, down into Glasgow, down into Edinburgh. This one hasn't got any kind of interior to it. But I think this airport, just for the sheer amount of detail and the surrounding beauty of it, definitely a go-to one for me. Rather boring, sir. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. Well, bye-bye. Bye. Rather boring. Do you know what? If it's boring, then it's very easy to go to another video or a live stream. It's so easy. I must show you sometime. I'll do a video just for you, showing you how to click off a live stream and go to another live stream. I'll show you sometime. It's very easy. Even you could do it. I'm very confident. Oh, actually, do you know what? You might not be able to. Anyway, okay, bro. Why do you not fly around the scenery? Because it's not about doing that. Yeah, let's get this boring person out of the live stream, because obviously they don't get the idea. Anyway, yeah, I mean, yeah, just get rid of him. If he doesn't want, if he wants to go and look at people flying through airports, there's many people who do that. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I am sorry, guys. I know, I'm terrible at letting it go, but yeah, if it's not what you want, then it's very easy to click off and find someone else who is flying around the airport. But I think I don't think there's many people out there. This is very important, by the way. I don't think there's many people who do actually have a look around the airports and sceneries and then go and do flying. You either get one or the other, really. People go to an airport, Heathrow, they set the aircraft up, they stay in the cockpit, and they fly to a different destination. They don't really go and look at the airport, and it's not for everyone. So yeah. I mean, if he wants to fly around it so much, why don't you install himself? I mean, that's the idea, isn't it? If you wanna go and fly around it, then this is the reason why I'm showing you it, because it's there for you. If you haven't got the sim, then I don't even think it's relevant, really, is it? If you want to see me flying around it, that is the point of the sim, is to fly the aircraft. I understand that. We don't just go into this. I mean, sometimes I do, don't get me wrong, and I know a couple of you guys do it as well, but it isn't just to get the drone camera out and look around these sceneries. Eventually, we do get into the aircraft, and we do have a little look at the sceneries we've got. You know, when Microsoft first brought the 2020 out in 2024, you know, all we ever did was going to see what a house looked like. You know what I mean? We were all guilty of that. But I am just going to jump back to Munich. I do apologize for the people who you know, I don't like to break the flow, but I am curious about the night lighting in Munich, so I do just want to go back there. Enjoying what you're doing, buddy. Crack on. Yeah, I know, Gareth. I mean, some people just like to have a moan, and I understand that people do want to see flying, but there's a difference between saying, oh, it's a disappointment. You know, it's one of those. It's disappointing that you're not flying. Maybe do some flying. That's the way I'd say it. Saying it's boring, you should fly, and doing it that way, it's just it's a bit rude. And listen, I know there's trolls, I know there's people who don't like saying things. I get it, I understand. Oh, I tell you what, that FSLTL, I don't quite think do you know what, that might actually be FS traffic, mightn't it? No, it's not. I'll let FSLTL sort that out. But, yeah. It is such a shame ATRs fly there, but I think maybe you could probably get something bigger in there for sure. Definitely. I watch many other people's streams, never ever comment, just watch silent, but hear you. I appreciate that. I really do. I like that we've, you know, don't get me wrong. It'd be fantastic if 50, 60, 100 people were watching. You know, you know, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? But I like it that we've got people who get involved in the chat in a very respectful manner and like to be part of the discussion and make comments that are appropriate for the live stream. You know, that fence shouldn't be that tall and stuff like that is fantastic. I love that, and I agree. You know, if you want to see people flying planes on Microsoft Flight Simulator via live stream, there's a hell of a lot of people that do it. A hell of a lot of people that doing it. If you want to go and fly around Scotland, then go and do it. Anyway, let's carry on, guys, because you know I do take it on the chin, but I give people too much airtime. That's the issue with me. I don't mind the comments. I'm not bothered. I'll either delete them or pin them or get you guys just to say bugger off, because that's what you guys do. You're very kind and look after me, but I give people too much airtime and carry on just trying to make a point after the fact. So I apologise. Let's carry on. Lovely big Cathay Pacific A350 there. And the night lighting, do you know what? Again, for me, Gaia Simulations have always been very, very good with night lighting. And you guys know, the regulars to the live stream, you will know that this kind of lighting, it's not always been my favourite, but the difference here is, and I'm not just saying this because it's Gaia and I'm a big fan of Gaia Simulations and I love it. Because at the end of the day, guys, you know, I said to Gaia Simulations on the Corfu stream, I said, listen, there's no static people. You've got no passengers in your airport. Flight Tamper have got loads. They've got people in the restaurants. They've got people walking around. You don't need to do that. Let's just add some people in. But even this is done to a point of it. It's got some kind of 2D image in it, and it's got a bit of fake lighting behind it. It's not just a one big square bit of light that's bleeding through. It looks like there's an interior there, so that's not too bad. It's not amazing, but this is one of the older airports. But yeah, the night lighting for Munich is pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. All the aprons and gates are illuminated the way I would expect them to be. Oh, some of the planes are being deleted. Okay. The road system here with the taxiways going across the road, they're all lit up as I would expect them to be. All the remote stands as well. I mean, we are spoiled by the lighting in this sim. It's definitely gotten better and better and better. I still think X-Plane 12 does it. Need I say it? I think X-Plane 12 does it very nicely, especially the aircraft lighting. Oh, what's going on here? Hello. I think looking at that looks great, but honestly, I think when you see the ground light in X-Plane 12, it is fantastic. The way it hits the ground, the taxiway lights, the apron lights, the landing lights, even the aircraft lights, they are very good on X-Plane 12. I am just going to say that. And I have said it quite a few times before. Does look nice though, doesn't it? What's going on with him? He's doing a little wheelie. What's going on? But yeah, not bad at all. Let's promptly move on. I do apologize that we went back there to have a little look, but where do we go next? Let's have a little look. Yeah, so this one, I feel like this next one for me was quite well known. This was part of the World Update Brazil. And again, Gaia Simulations, very nicely done. Who does the payware version? Paulo Ricardo does well, as you can see there, he does a £10 version on the Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace. And it's 4.8 out of 5, and it's got 300 reviews. But again, there is a handcrafted version that you also get as part of the Brazilian update, and this one I have seen, but I haven't explored it. Similar to this, the next one I have explored quite a bit because it was part of a live stream that I did a while back for that particular world update. The last one I've never explored. I've only seen it for the thumbnail. And I was quite surprised by that. I even said that to AirRhodessa. Here we go. LATAMs everywhere. Let's have a little look at this one. Do you know what? I wish when you deactivated chase plane, like the way you can do there, just by holding the icon at the top, that it stayed deactivated. Like, it doesn't stay deactivated while the sim's active. It's after every time you start a new flight, it will activate itself again. I'm not too sure why that is. I wish it was you know, if you restart the sim, then yeah, fair enough. But it seems to be every time you go into a new flight, which is a bit annoying. One big thing I'll say here is that we do have some hangar interiors, which is pretty cool, and I do love the detail of the weather, the weathering, you know, the damage to the cement and the metal. And look at this, paint and stuff all, you know, coming off, and I imagine with the heat of Rio, this would be some of that might happen a bit more regularly because of the heat and the exposure of the heat over in Rio. Now, obviously, with the world update, get me teeth in, the world update with this one, there was obviously a lot of photogrammetry done. So you've got the airport right in the center here, but you've also got the photogrammetry. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, AirRhodessa will be able to correct me on this one. You are obviously going to get the various custom buildings, but I think the photogrammetry here for Brazil was actually when they, not maybe when they started introducing it, but fairly soon enough, they started introducing the tin coverage, which is triangular irregular network or networking or something. Basically a bit more of a fancier, not term for what's happening here? Not a fancier term for photogrammetry, but a whole different way of doing it. There was a chap on a live stream a while back who actually told me what it was, how it was done. And all that means is that the photogrammetry buildings are going to be a bit less melty, a bit more defined. And as you can see here, you know, at a certain altitude, those buildings look almost custom modeled. You know, they're not, you know, you can get down a bit further and they'll still look pretty nice. You know, you can see artwork on the side of these buildings as well. And then some of them are custom modeled, depending on, like, if it's a stadium, Christ the Redeemer, you know, and then all of the surrounding, you know, boat yards and stuff like that. It's a very nice area for photogrammetry. Yep, you're correct, Brian. Thank you very much. A comparison with polos would be, yeah, it definitely would be. With £10, I might consider it. One of my favourites, still Ryanair by Landon's there. I mean, what is it? Is it flanked by two of the, you know, two of the sea, water on both sides? I mean, look how close to the actual water this is. This is almost San Francisco kind of territory, isn't it? I mean, you've got no room for error with this airport. Absolutely no room for error. My favorite airport pricing for quick flight is Sao Paulo to Rio. The version looks great too. This airport is such a great, it is a good location. Shame they never fixed the bridge. Is that it over there? They've not. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. That. I mean, that is a bit of a. Oh God. I mean, yeah. If you're on approach into this particular airport, then you're gonna. Yeah. I mean, that is a big. I mean, what happened? A scene from Final Destination. Bit of a shame, because obviously we got like the it's like that underground one near Hong Kong, isn't it? Yeah, that is a shame. I that is one of those things where I'd be like, I mean, you're flying into this airport right there. I mean, if we have a little look, let's have a little look at our two red, two white right there. I mean, that's the view you're gonna get out your cockpit. Those new Brazilian floating cars. And then I'm getting kind of Alcatraz vibes from this island here. Is it what is it? Does anyone know? Is that also a prison? It does. It actually looks like, doesn't it? Maybe it's an exclusive island. There's a bit of a. Oh no, there's some swimming pools in there. That ain't a prison, unless the Brazilian justice system gives you the pleasure of doing some laps. That is fantastic, though. That's good. That's nice. That's lovely. The thing is, no one ever tried to fix it. The DFF Flyer pack didn't include the bridge fix. Oh. Knock off of Alcatraz with a swimming pool. But yeah, you know what, guys? Let's take a look at the airport, because to tell you what, it's an airport with a blooming lovely surrounding to it. So I think that will also get people interested. But I'm going to get distracted by a Gaia Simulations model again. This ship is one of the Gaia Simulations ships. They are so well modeled. Like, that could be one of those ships that is sold on flightsim.to, because they are quite detailed on flightsim.to, and regardless of what you feel on those drivable ships, these Gaia Simulations one, I mean, I would not be at all mad at Gaia Simulations. I know they won't. I feel like Gaia Simulations wouldn't even entertain the notion. I don't think they would, but I would not be mad if Gaia Simulations went ahead and made that into a drivable boat. Same as these other ones, these little ships. They're so detailed. I mean, they're doing some weird shaking, but I tell you what, the detail in them. And this is another thing to mention about Gaia Simulations, is they're also similar to the guys at Flight Simulations, the Brazilian guys at Flight Simulations, who do model an awful lot of their own models. That sounds weird. They do model a lot of their own objects and clutter, so vehicles and buildings, obviously. Gaia Simulations, similar to Flight Simulations, they model all these really detailed vehicles and objects. Again, there's this sail ship. Imagine being able to take this out. Like, that is detailed to the point of being close up for the avatar model. Anyway, guys, I apologize. Again, lovely detailing with the rocks around the airport, and like I said, there is some open hangars around here as well. What is your favourite airport in Brazil? It could very well be easily this one, mate, but if I'm going to be totally honest, the guys at Flight Simulations, so Fly, so FLYT Simulations, it's not obviously a default handcrafted version, but they do some payware, and they're available on the air. I think they're only exclusively on the marketplace. What was it called? Penna. I forget the name of it. It was on one of my Brazilian live streams dedicated to their airports. Penna something or something Penna. It's a very, very, very well crafted airport by Flight Simulations, so that would be my favorite Brazilian airport for sure. There are a couple of bridges with the same issue in the different maps. They've never been fixed yet. This is exactly what I was saying, guys, about Munich before. You know, about the World Update airports and sceneries. They're not going to be updated, or they're not going to be updated as much, if at all, like a payware one would be. You know, with a payware scenery, it's a given thing. You know what I mean? The developers there, they're working at it. They've got Discord messages, they've got forum posts, Facebook messages, whatever. You know, the bridge is messed up. The bridge that you were doing, it's messed up. Can you fix it? They go in and fix it. It's a whole different ball game when it comes to these world updates. I don't expect them to kind of ever get any updates, even, you know, definitely not updates to where it's gonna do any minor things like add in a new terminal or, you know, renovate a new terminal, whatever. It's if there's a breaking bug, something that is physically breaking the use of the airport or the scenery, then yeah, I would expect them to go in there and be like, yeah, it needs fixing because people can't use that airport. Cosmetics and stuff like that, I don't expect it. But look at this. Look how detailed the hotel is here. No, they're not. I thought they were in the swimming pool. They kind of are, aren't they? Though I guess sometimes you do see that. But look how detailed the hotel is, and you've even got like some Starbucks and some other cafes down here. The landside area is absolutely spot on. It really is. Some little bits of photogrammetry kind of floating away there, but you know, like little bits like this, you know, I don't know how long it takes for someone just to go in and just get rid of it. I don't know if there's an exclusion tool or brush that they can just, because I'm talking like I know the SDK here, and I don't, you know, can you just brush out little things like this? I know to go around the whole world and do that for all of the scenery items you put in, it may take a while, but anyway, landside looks gorgeous. You can see the miss all the stuff in if they fly to the airport. Crazy detail. Yeah, you do miss all this stuff if you fly around. Yeah, you're totally right, mate. If you start flying around and do an actual flight, you're gonna miss all this lovely detail. Any chance you can look at Cape Town? In fact, I believe it's handcrafted. Not in this live stream unless we've got a bit of time, but I think I do have the Ini Builds one active, but I think you are right. I think there is a handcrafted version. Cape Town is handcrafted, by the way. Yeah, it is handcrafted, but that was when they did I can't remember when that was. AirRhodessa is your man for that, for sure. But I obviously installed the Ini Builds one. Sorry guys, I'm just a bit warm. That's right. That door's closed, that's why. Try and open that door a bit more. I have to put a little door stop in the way, because with that door open, I don't really want you to see outside that door, because I'll be honest with you, it's not the cleanest out there. Bit better now. Absolutely sweating. I need a bloody wetsuit. I know that's a Lee Evans line, but I do. I need a wetsuit. Look at this. Is this like Brazilian military, Brazilian Coast Guard? That is some lovely detail. Look at that. Someone can go and translate that if they like. Let me know in the comments what it says. I would say it's definitely military. Whether it's fighter jets or helicopters, but I tell you what, another fabulous job with the airports. What's he doing over there? Another fantastic job with the airport detail, and again, a handcrafted scenery. It looks so nice. They have done some of the surrounding buildings in custom as well. If you have a look at these are Photogrammetry. These are all custom modelled. I don't think he's taken off. I'm just gonna get rid of him because he's doing me head in. Sorry, folks. There wasn't many any aircraft on the ground there anyway. Yeah, so we do have quite a few open hangars with this one as well. Do you know what? The amount, I am very, very impressed with this one, because this isn't one I've did a lot of looking around. I did see it. I can't remember. I did definitely show it on a live stream, or at least take some screenshots and video of it. It has got an interior as well. You can kind of see where the old airport is and kind of where the new bits have been added in. And that glasswork, as you know, I am very fond of perimeter fences for these airports. I know of you guys know that. But glasswork on airports, the reason why I like glasswork on airports is because so many developers get it wrong. Either you can't see the glass both sides. It either looks like there's no glass at all on one side when looking from the inside to out, or the glass in certain times of day doesn't actually look like it's in there. You can see very well that there's panes of glass in between those, whatever they are, concrete or metal structures. You know, you can see that there is a bit of glass inside each section of the terminal. And then, and again, changing the time of day, you can see that the glass is very visible. Night lighting, this is where I'd probably say it looks a bit frosted, it looks a bit dark, and it looks very transparent. It probably looks like that in real life, but again, for the most part, this is probably where I would say you can see that the jetways have definitely got glass in them. The terminal now, I would say, apart from the sides, I'm getting very technical here and very picky, but here, this is where you can see that there's glass. You can see that there's glass, but here it kind of looks a bit too open, transparent. Like, if you have a look at that now, it doesn't look like there's any glass there. And I know a lot of you in the comments or watching the video afterwards be going, honestly, mate, I could not give a toss. Just something that I look at. Just something that I look at. From the inside, let's see. Oh, we can actually go in here. From the inside, however, you can actually make out that there's glass there. It's a bit more frosted. Don't know if you hear a lot of frogs in Brazil, but apparently that's the ambience we're getting with the sound effects. You know, it's not the most detailed interior, but it's still really, really nice. Night lighting's, it's okay. It's a bit, it's got a bit of bloom every so often, a bit of maybe a bit too much intensity, but did we get any landside? Oh, we did. Look at that. Oh, nice bits of kind of tiling as well. I mean, this is it is a very old looking airport. This would be the, you know, the original building. I mean, it's quite high, isn't it, as well? You know, you get your check-in desk, but you know, there's no passengers and stuff. But again, it's a free airport. It's something that you can go and download and activate whenever you want. Honestly, what I will say is definitely go and check out some of the routes that you can do around domestic Brazil, because they are very interesting. You'll see some lovely scenery as you fly by, even at 34,000 feet. I think I did one of those flight simulations airports to Rio, and coming into Rio, guys, I mean, even if you just do a couple of routes, even if you just do one route, you've got a free airport here to use. You know, if you want to do a realistic one, get yourself onto Flight Radar, get into this airport, have a little look at the routes, what they do, and have a little fly around and have a little look. You might not ever come back to it, but you haven't invested any money into it, have you? You haven't spent, I mean, you could, if you love it, you can go and spend £10 on the other version. Whether that's any better or not too sure. James, it is very muggy tonight. It is. It is. Also, mate, my parents are from Zim. It looks fantastic. It does. It's nice. Someone grabbed Brazil from my incredible translation skills. No way, small world. Oh, all right, okay, you guys. I'll let you guys. From Brian and myself, thanks everyone for getting involved. The likes, yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for spending some time and being beautiful people as always, and getting involved. Let's head to our next one because we are getting a bit out of time, aren't we? So the flight simulations ones, they are further along here. Alfonso Pena, that is the one that I would say go and buy. This is from Flight Simulations. It is fantastic. Go and look back at my other live streams, and I did a live stream for this and another one. This airport is one of the most detailed. These guys, and do you know what? I am pretty certain that the guy who heads Flight Simulations is actually from Gaia Simulations. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure he is. But guys, all these hangars have got interiors. This infrastructure around here, these roads leading off this industrial zone down by the cargo hangars and the private jet hangars, they are so detailed. Definitely recommend that one. Go and get it in the marketplace. Do some flights to Rio from there. It's not a big flight either. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Right, what are we on next? Yes, this next one is a beautiful one. This one is another one that's going to be taking you close to the water. Romeo, Juliet, Foxtrot, Juliet. Romeo, Juliet, Foxtrot, Romeo. Kitakyushu. I think I'm saying that right. As you can see, folks, this one is its own little island, and then obviously it's connected by a bridge. And I'm gonna stick me little Piper down there. This one is nice. I'm pretty sure I did a live stream for the Japan update, so I did feature this on the channel before, but this is another belter. So when I saw this on AirRhodessa's list, I was very happy, because this is, for me, and again, I say this with total respect to Gaia Simulations, this is where I feel that we saw the sort of the jump in more custom models and detailing towards the airport. And as you can see, this one is no exception. You've got the custom bridge coming over from the mainland, and then you've got the airport itself. Not a massive airport. In fact, if they wanted to, I think they might actually be, yeah, so this will be another one where I would say this potentially is already extended. They had room to extend the runway. I don't know if this plot of land, again, you guys can go off and check for me on this one. Don't know if this plot of land was dedicated and created for the airport, but it certainly looks like what they've done, as a guess, is they've built the airport, the runway initially, and then after opening, they've said, right, let's carry on with the development. I don't know what the plans are for here. This could all be done by now. I'll let you guys go off and have a little check. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna have a little check now. What were we? Gonna have a little check now and see if Flight Radar potentially has. Let's have a little look. So oddly enough, Flight Radar's still doesn't have anything on the radar, but I don't know if Google's imagery would be more updated. I don't know if Flight Radar are pulling their satellite imagery from Google. Google doesn't doesn't have anything either. Now, what's interesting is, I don't know if Gaia simulations are guessing or they've read something. There might be an article. I'm not going to go and dig in online for now. One of you guys can potentially do that for me. But there's no indication of this being on Google or Flight Radar. This bit of what generally looks like an extension of the runway. But it's a very, very good bit of detail. You know, you've got this kind of freeze frame of the, you know, the construction workers getting everything into place. But there's no indication on Google Maps that there's going to be an extension. I mean, for me here, it looks like they're doing some more aprons and certainly have got the room for it. Again, not too sure whether this was created for the airport. You can even see that Gaia simulations have gone as far as to do all of the water protection. These do have a proper name. I remember asking this very question on the live stream that I did for this. But you can see how detailed they are. The concrete looks fantastic. The water, you can actually see that some of them are actually darker and light up the top to where the water's hit them. There's a name for them, and I know one of you guys will end up commenting in the live chat or after the fact in the video. There is a name for them, but you can see that Gaia have gone ahead and done all the way around the airport, and it's a lovely detail. And the only thing right now for me is some of these cars are on the actual bridge, and some of them are taking the express route, and the bridge is again modelled very, very nicely as well. You can see. I mean, these guys are just floating down the bridge at this point. But yeah, they've done, you know, the realistic bridge going right over to the mainland there. And then all of the hangars and the hotels. I mean, the space on this island for things to be improved and developed and you know, expanded. If the airport was to need the expansion, they've definitely got the means to. Definitely got the means to. And again, like I said before, the guys, some of the guys, or maybe one of the guys from Flight Simulations, I am pretty certain they've come from Gaia. And seeing this bit of detail down these roads, the detail in the fencing and the street lights, I am pretty certain now that it is that person, because it's very, very similar to what you would get from the Flight Simulation guys. And that's no disrespect to either team. It's just you can see where that talent has come from. I mean, look how detailed this is. Everything custom model. The vans, the fuel vans, they've got interiors to them. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, this is the kind of, I think, the sweet spot of where you could see Gaia Simulations going, right, okay, we need to up this now. We need to, these default handcrafted sceneries, they've been great, but we're gonna just take it up a notch. This is a brilliant handcrafted scenery, and again, I think this one could definitely slip under the radar. I totally mean that pun, because it definitely could. Very detailed. Love it. Love this one. Tetrapods, that was it. I mean, it's just again, Gaia are, for me, up there with the likes of Ini builds, and I mean the quality of each individual asset, the signpost. I mean, look at the signage on here. Very, very detailed. And then if you get the lighting right again, you've got this really convincing, realistic scenery that I'll say it. You know, people are they get very upset with the sim, and listen, I understand. I always try and say this. Sometimes I get frustrated with the sim. We all do. But you know, for some of the bad times where things don't work, you know, the servers have been down recently, things crash, you know, we get frustrated. For the amount of free stuff that we get, that honestly Microsoft could have just easily sold, in my opinion. A lot of you say to me, shut your mouth, Brian. They do watch. Just be quiet, you know. You don't need to say that. They could have charged for all these sceneries and just said, listen, not everyone's going to be downloading these updates, because like I said before, they don't fly in that part of the world. I mean, there's another little scene. You can see just loads of different bits of architecture. The sort of, I don't know, maybe the hotel over the in the middle there, the sun beaming down. And this is also will show you how good the texture work is as well. The modeling, the Starflyer hangar in particular. I mean, if you get the lighting just right here, what you get now is you get a lovely bit of lighting on the front of the Starflyer hangar, the light bouncing off this sheet metal, and then you also get in the bottom left here, you get the shadows of this utility steps, or whatever you like to call it. It is beautiful, man. It is beautiful. Doc, good to see you, mate. Tetra earpods, mate. If Apple saw those, that's another thing that they did over here as well. They actually put a massive big block. Look at that, loads of them here. Imagine sticking one of those in your ear. But honestly, nothing really shocks me anymore with the earphone and headphone designs. You know, you'd have this bit in your ear, these kind of 3 parts sticking out. I mean, it's a cool design. Apple ever watching this stream and I like that going, yeah, yeah. But yeah, anyway, stop giving Apple designs. Let's have a little look, because we've still got one more airport to go. But this one, yeah, this one is it is a beautiful one. This was just before World Update. This was World Update. Was it 20? Yeah, World Update 20. This was World Update 20. So this was before Australia, which makes sense, because it is capturing a lot of the same level of detail as the Australian update. Very, very nice airport. The lighting here now looks gorgeous, by the way. if you hadn't already noticed. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. Full car park there as well. You actually, again, we have to also look at Gaia simulations here, because again, I've mentioned a few times, you know, these are responsible for the modeling and the work of quite a lot of the simulator, by the way. Handcrafted airports, the points of interest, all the oil rigs, the helipads, there's loads, the boats, trucks, whatever. And again, just the only thing that lacks for me is just the people. I hope when there's a new world update, wherever that may be, that we start getting people models in Gaia simulations, because they do well at doing clutter, landside detail. It's all there. There's just no passengers, you know. For me, if you're gonna make your landside and your interiors this detailed, with collision as well, by the way, So it means that your avatar can walk around these airports. If you're going to do that, chuck some people models in. Just because if you're going to be able to explore, I mean, look at that. Look at the detail in that. That's ridiculous. Let me just be my usual in-depth self and just kind of see what we're picking out here. You got that kind of smoggy layer. I've had live weather turned on all the way throughout, by the way. You've got that kind of smoggy cloud layer over in the background, which is really lovely. Anyway, you got the bridge as well. You've got all these different altitudes and heights of the hills and the mountains in the background. Obviously, the reflections of the water as well. You got your car park fully stocked. It doesn't look copy and paste. You're gonna obviously see the same car every so often. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna happen. But cars are parked in different ways. They're not. Some of them are quite not straight. Some of them you can actually see the tires. The actual wheels are also facing outwards and not inwards. Loads of lovely little details like that. You've got the bikes in the bottom right here. Again, Gaia simulations with the detail in the vendor machines with all the individual 3D modeled products. Cash machine. All of the Japanese text on the thing here on the sides. There's just so many levels of detail. And again, one thing that I've not really said, performance for all of them have just been really, really nice. What I will say is I've seen a bit more of a dip in performance with this one. I think as we start getting into the latest world updates, because of the level of detail, we are going to see a bit of a drop. Because I mean, this is another point, is that they're all payware quality for free, and these really do help you discover new airports. Look at the texture work on that lamppost, the security light, the security camera, the lights. Fantastic. Because they're so detailed and because they're, an authentic rendition of the airport, I think it just makes people want to go off and download them, install them, whatever, and have a look at what it's like. I mean, I haven't done any domestic flying in Japan yet. I think I'm probably going to leave that until we get the home cockpit set up, and I'll definitely be looking at more routes there. But yeah, there's your night lighting as well for this one. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff indeed. Lovely stuff. I would suggest you a video about so-called glider ports worldwide. Came in one of the late. Antonio, very, very good point. I think it's incredible how far the flight sims come in only. I mean, 2020, 2024, I know there's people still using 2020. I think a lot of people in the last couple of months have migrated over to 2024. But even from 2020 coming out in 2020, I still think the jump in that. And my first proper flight sim was X-Plane 11. Just incredible. Even the jump from there. And I know there's a lot of people who watch my channel who have been flying simulators since the early, some of the guys from the 80s, some of the guys from the early 90s, some of the guys from the first, the very first flight simulators. Some of the guys from X-Plane 10, you got Microsoft Flight Sim 2004, Sensory of Flight and stuff like that. For those guys, it just must be even more mind-blowing. But even me, coming from X-Plane 11 as kind of my first simulator that I got into, and I really started appreciating doing flight simulation and getting into learning aircraft. that is just it blows my mind, that level of detail. I mean, look at this. It's just, yeah, you know, I'm not going to go in. We've already discussed before people's stance on airport interiors and having them and not having them and stuff like that. This is another belt of an interior, by the way. This is a lovely one. It's just, again, sorry, Gaia Simulations, I will mention, just get some people into these sceneries because look how detailed they are. This one, I think I said it when I first showed this one, whether it was a live stream or a video, I did say that it felt a bit dark in this particular interior. I remember saying it back then. I don't quite know what it is like to stand in this airport, but at night it looks a bit too dark. I don't know whether that is what it actually looks like. But then again, if you look at it in the daytime, let's just get some lighting going in here. They just need to add some passengers. Be my only criticism. It's a beautiful, beautiful scenery, this one. Definitely going to be revisiting this, and I think A&A or possibly the Skyflyer. Look at the Skyflyer liveries. Look at the planes. That is a lovely livery. I do like that. Not bad. Let's see what you guys are saying. For the UK, they're about 40. Yeah, there's loads of the. I mean, again, this is the thing about saying about Gaia Simulations. There's a lot of things that those guys do for the sim that you might not actually realize. My first flight sim, Flight Unlimited, missions to transport escaped from Alcatraz in a seaplane. Yeah, definitely. So we've got one more to go, guys. That should bring us nicely to the end of the live stream. I should have had that door open all the way through, actually, because I'll be honest with you, it's been boiling and I can actually see it in my hair there as well. So, like I say, guys, got absolutely loads going on this month. It's now August. To end this live stream, we are going to MK, Mike Kilo, Juliet, Sierra, Sangster International, Montego Bay. You can actually do, I think, Manchester fly the 787 TUI 787 Dreamliner Manchester to this airport. I think, off the top of my head. But this was the one that AirRhodessa put into this list that I was like, oh, hang on, never ever seen this one. Never seen it. Completely didn't know it existed as a handcrafted scenery. Hang on, guys, let me just see. There's no marketplace scenery available for this one. I don't know if there's another, you know, on like Contrail or Sim Market, if there's one available there. I'm not too sure. Don't know if one of you guys can go off and double check that for me, but I was very surprised with this one. Milton Keynes, imagine. Milton Keynes International. This is our last one. Correct, Brian, they are. Nice. Okay, when I did put the air traffic in, actually, for this one, there was a TUI 787 on the ground, but I just had to, I wasn't 100% on that. Let's add some traffic in for this one. It's not a massive airport, but again, it's one of those where, for me, the reason why I wanted to include this off the list, and again, this, I didn't have to change this list. This, what I would say, again, massive thank you to AirRhodessa with the list for this live stream, is that I didn't change any of these. This was the list, and I was very pleased with it, and for very good reason, because I think all of them give just their own little bit of uniqueness. And as you can see with this one, is again, we're gonna, you know, we've got the sea. We're quite similar to what we sort of had in Brazil. Each end, I think, each end is the sea, isn't it? Oh no, not quite, but still. But look at the water masking. Ooh, that is good. That's nice. That's actually some of the nicest water masking I've seen in the sim. Very nice indeed. I just wish we had some sort of animated waves, you know. But the water masking around this airport, guys, if you know, you've got your long runway, you can send your Dreamliners, you can send your A350s into here. You've got a nice little variety of aircraft you can use for this one, and you're gonna have a beautiful departure and arrival. Look at that, fantastic. These you know, really tropical airports, and they're not massive airports, but you've still got massive you still got your long haul jets that get into these airports. One runway, not massive infrastructures on the terminals. Just, yeah, let's have a little look at this one. So this is the last one we're going to have a look at. This is Montego Bay. This is Sangster International in Jamaica. And again, one of the ones I didn't know about this one at all. I feel like I do have quite a good knowledge of where the handcrafted airports are, but this was definitely one I didn't know about. I just this one surprised me. This is why I wanted to keep it last on the list. This was World Update 16, so you might look at it and go, it's definitely not as detailed as what we were getting in Japan or even Brazil, but you know what, not miles from the same. I would say, if you're looking at it, definitely the road network here and the fencing still all here, very nicely detailed, lots of clutter, but definitely not as detailed as what we saw in the Kitakyushu airport over in Japan just then, or again even Brazil. You've got some detailings on the curb and the roundabout here as we go into the kind of the land side of the airport, but that's still, I mean, a bit irrelevant. There's a lot of clutter, there's a lot of nice details. There's even some kind of temporary plastic barriers here as well that they've put in. You got this sort of really small kind of, you know, utility sheds, huts and warehouse facilities, but then you've still got your big aircraft at this very kind of quite a, you know, small airport. And again, you know, you got your American Airlines, you got your American domestic airlines, you got Frontier in there, and then obviously you've got TUI sitting off there, a Dreamliner over from the UK and stuff like that. So. I'm not too sure how long it is. I think Liverpool is... Manchester is 10,000 feet, isn't it? Liverpool is about 7,500 feet. To be honest with you, Mike, I would say it's probably not too much. It might not be far off from Liverpool. Might not be far off at all, mate. Just eyeballing it. I could be way off. It is 8.7, so it's 8,000. So it's got about 1,000, just over 1,000 foot extra than Liverpool. I used to fly out of it in 2020. Just a shame there's no photogrammetry. Yeah, there's no photogrammetry around here. There's obviously your surrounding houses and your satellite imagery. Actually, if you're gonna look at it, it's not amazing, is it? I mean, we're quite high up here. We've got everything zoomed out, and this is kind of, for me, just no disrespect, because I do love X-Plane 12 as well, but this is kind of what you get with X-Plane 12 if you've got none of the map enhancements on, and you've got all the default scenery and stuff. This is kind of the quality of it. So to have this handcrafted airport here, it does help. I've actually just noticed they've put some custom approach lighting in. Look at that. That is nice. Lovely stuff. And then imagine if you were staying at this hotel. I've actually modelled a hotel here. Airport Beach Hotel. I mean, never a truer statement. It's on the beach, and it's definitely at the airport, isn't it? Very nicely detailed. Photogrammetry took a time to load after the last update. No sure some buildings look melted. It's always had that grassy shade on it. I've always said that in every live stream with the world update, especially the city updates. I still don't think the photogrammetry or this tin coverage is sometimes it can have that weird green shade over it, and it looks terrible. I don't know why they haven't done it. Yeah, every city update that I've seen, especially over in America, the buildings have a horrible green tinge on the side of it, like a tint. It's not nice, especially with it being a specific city update and sometimes world updates, and they're focusing on the city buildings. Didn't notice it in the last American update though, must admit. Got an Air Transat A321 Neo there. Lovely stuff. I mean, do you know what? Even for an earlier world update, this is still quite nice actually. It's still quite detailed. But as I've said quite a few times, it just lacks the people models. It just needs the passenger models, and at this point I wouldn't even care if Gaia Simulations just added static people in. It just needs people, because they do such a brilliant job of everything else. The clutter, I mean, sometimes you'll look in the airport and they've got just suitcases just left there. It's like everyone's just been deleted. I mean, because before I saw this on the list, because I didn't know it existed as a handcrafted airport, as you can imagine, I was quite interested to see what they did with it. That is some tree trunk. Is that a rock? No, it's a rock. I was gonna say, just a random tree trunk. I was like, ah. But you know what? Even with the sort of the really poor satellite coverage on the ground, and I mean, I can forgive the auto-gen buildings. They're not an issue. It's just the ground texturing's a bit. I mean, over there, there's cars going down the hill, and there's no actual road there or anything. But anyway. Also, as well, that V is a bit wobbly. I wonder if that's real. I wonder if that V is like that in real life. But yeah, you know, it's got its surrounding gates, its security access points. Don't think there's any interior to landside. Let's just have a little look. Let's have a little look at the night lighting. I like to just have just to keep a little bit of light in the sky when I'm looking at the night light. I don't like to have it pitch black, you know. I would say, in my honest opinion, and from my observations, I think night lighting has definitely improved over the course of 2 or 3 of the world updates for Gaia simulations. I think they've really stepped up the night lighting. The reason why I'm saying that is because there's absolutely no lighting, night lighting on these aprons. Like, I don't know if these are these active aprons where passengers still board the planes, but even when we turn all the way, let's turn it all the way down. The night lighting on the side of these kind of warehouse buildings is very, yeah, it's what I'd expect, but there's no lighting on these aprons, on these stands. All the way around the stands of the terminals where the jet bridges are, absolutely spot on, but there's none here. But there is actual apron lights. Just as a little bit of a criticism and a spot, there is apron lights there. Now it could be that's what it is actually like. So I'll leave it at that and be like, yeah, maybe that's what it's like. Let's carry on. Let's have a little look. 'Cause I'm pretty sure there's a bit of interior to this. Maybe from the just a bit further down. I think I did notice some. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything in kind of the for me. Oh, there's a bit here. I'm gonna say like the original part of the airport. Look at this. That's nice. Although that reminds me a bit like Vegas Airport, that. Bit of Harry Reid, all those circle bits. It's got a bit of a collision on it as well. Yeah, there's a bit of interior. It's not, I mean, oh yeah, oh, look at this. We're not gonna get in there, are we? It looks lovely from what we can see. Definitely still needs some people in there though. Still needs some passengers just to be there, because it would make a huge difference. You being on your stand on your aircraft there. A bit dull as well. Bit like the Japanese airport we were just at. A bit dull inside there. Not too sure if it needs a bit more light just to illuminate the building a bit more. But again, one of those, you know, definitely an earlier world update to where I think it's just something that maybe Gaia have just improved upon over time. Nice bit of lighting from the ATC tower, which I think that's lit up very realistically. I think that's nice, as what I'd kind of expect to see as the amount of light bleeding out of the building. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And if you didn't know, Gaia Simulations a while back did announce that they were updating their Vienna scenery. It turns out now that they're actually totally rebuilding their Vienna scenery, so it's not an update, it's a complete rebuild. I have been speaking to Raz from Gaia Simulations, so naturally I will be doing my very best to bring you a full tour of Vienna when it comes out, and then obviously a look at what they do next. He hasn't told me, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do, whether they revisit some of their old stuff, maybe just update it, or maybe even completely rework it like they're doing to Vienna. But with Corfu, I'd like to see if what other new projects, what other new sceneries they are gonna take on. This looks like a little bit of a private terminal, and I tell you what, little jet center. Look at that. Very exclusive, lovely kind of a private jet building. You know, one of the original buildings. Yeah, that'll be one to arrive at onto this beautiful runway and location. I mean, look at that. Beautiful stuff, guys. Now, that brings me to the end, sadly. If you are re-watching, I'm going to put a timestamp with all of the airports in, just so it's easy to flick through the intro and the outro and stuff, because, you know, just it's a lot easier, isn't it? I don't expect people to watch all the intro and the outro and blah blah blah. I know, like, people like to skip. They might even just want to see us at an airport. But again, massive thank you to oh, I didn't see Flemo in the chat there. I'm sorry if you're still there, mate. Thanks for coming in. I completely missed you there. Sorry, mate. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for coming in and having a little mooch. Do you have Barcelona? I don't, mate. I don't have Barcelona. Now, one of you guys asked me to go to Cape Town. I won't be able to in this live stream, but I know myself, and I mean, I'm saying this without his permission, but I know myself and AirRhodessa wouldn't mind maybe doing a list together, or he'll put together another list. I don't know if Barcelona has a AirRhodessa, or no, I don't know if Barcelona has a handcrafted version. Where are you going, mate? See, if you guys remember the Corfu live stream, we had aircraft doing this. To me, that looks like there was an actual taxiway there at some point, and the FSLTL traffic has just picked that up for some reason. I don't know if Barcelona's got a default version to it. I don't think. No, it doesn't. Okay. Brilliant stream. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, massive thank you to AirRhodessa who come up with this list. If you are re-watching, in the description there's a link to AirRhodessa's hangar, and it'll give you so many resources on scenery. And what I mean by that is, if you want to know where the very best photogrammetry is, if you want to know where the handcrafted airports are, if you want to know where the sort of, you know, the more authentic scenery is located around the world in the simulator, and it's not auto-genned, that resource in the description will help. And then from that website you'll find his Discord. You can go into there obviously as well. Massive thank you to Planespotting Mike for taking the time out. I am going to say sorry to him at the minute, because I know he's done some live streams and some content that I've missed a few of, and I would have loved to have got out to Liverpool and to Manchester to see things, but I have some personal news that I need to share in the next couple of weeks with you guys, which will kind of, hopefully it will explain to you, Mike, why I've been a bit not here, and to you guys why I've been not here. It hasn't just been the home cockpit, by the way. I have the home cockpit. I did most of the main work on that the start of July, the end of June. The biggest thing to build the wooden frame and the pedestal. All of the other bits have been that extra little detail where I've spent an hour or two up in here, and then I got a bit sick for about a week. So anyway, in a few weeks I will explain things. So if you're on my Discord, I'll also communicate it over a live stream as well. It will make sense to why I've been a bit off and on, mostly off. This Wednesday I will be back at the same time. I am going to be looking at Project Airports. I know a couple of you guys have already seen that. I've already had a go at it. I know a couple of you guys might not have. Project Airports, just to give you an idea, if you've always liked the idea of making your own airport in the sim, you can select a plot of land, you sign up for free, There is some kind of paid element towards it. You do get free. I think they call them arrows, but again, we'll go into more detail on Wednesday 8 p.m. Essentially, it's going to allow you to make your own airport at to a point of whatever size you want in the sim. You select a plot of land, you claim it, and then you can start building an airport on the web browser, on the editor, and you can put it together, and then you can basically send it over to your sim with the downloadable companion app. And apparently it works very well. I've heard some good things about it. I can't wait to try it. I haven't actually done anything with it. And the reason for that is because I want to actually show you guys the process. I've already signed up. I'm not going to show you the process of signing up. I don't want to patronize you. It's free to sign up. What I do want to show you is from that point, you've signed up, you've got your email to confirm, and then you're ready to select your plot of land. So I've selected no plot of land. I've done nothing to do with my airport. I've had a little go with the demo on the website, and that's it. I want to show you how it's done. It's going to be a learning curve for me while we're on the stream, but it seems pretty straightforward. I'll take it over to the sim, and then we'll actually go and look at it in the sim in avatar mode. We'll have a look around it. We'll try and fly into it. It's going to be quite fun, and I'm really excited to go and have a little look at Project Airports. Again, no SDK knowledge is needed. It's all done out of the sim. You send it over. And there's also a livery editor as well, which is quite interesting. I did have a little mess about with that, and by the looks of it, you can, again, make your own livery for your whatever aircraft, send it over to the sim. Is it as good as it sounds? It certainly looks like it. We'll have a little look at that Wednesday. Home cockpit. Do you know what? I don't even know if I can. Do you know what? Let me have a little. I know you guys. Some of you guys have seen it. Don't even want it. Like, it's terrible. It's. Let me see if I can. Is it gonna? Is it? Has it stopped? Has it broke? Has it broke? The webcam's broke, hasn't it? Oh no. Is it back on? Is it back on? No, it's not. Is it back on? Is it back on? I've broke my webcam now. It doesn't like being a. Oh no. Let's have a little look. I know what it is. Bear with me. Bear with me. No, that's not it. That was a good idea, Brian. Oh no. Is that it? Ah, no. Alright, you're not going to be able to see it then. You're not even going to be able to see me, because I've wrecked it now. It didn't like being moved. I'm not too sure why that is. It shouldn't really just go off because I've moved the webcam. Oh well. I'm just not going to be on the end of the live stream, unfortunately. That's the only thing. Oh well. But anyway, I'm not too sure how I get this on now. See if I can. Can I get it back on? Can I get it back on? Hey. Yeah. Is it gonna do it again? Is it? It's not gonna like it, is it? Why did it do that? It's just because I'm moving it. Can you see it? Can you see it? Oh, there he is. So pedestal. The pedestal is well, this is the next part. I've got a lot of detailing to do, but there is the main kind of paneling done with the screens in and everything. I mean, yeah, I mean, apart from all this that you can see, yeah, that's going to be covered up. Just ignore that. That's my black vinyl skills. Yeah. So, lovely camera work there. You can see why I don't know what. Oh, don't go down there. What are you? Oh, I should. Yeah. Yeah. Can I get it back again? Can I fix it? Can I fix it? Right, guys, I am going to go because I'm gonna go because I've got to go now. That was the end there, Paul. There's nothing else to show you. I'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you, everyone. It's been good. It's still a bit wonky. That's a bit wonky, isn't it? What's going on here? It's a bit wonky, isn't it? It doesn't. I'll fix it for next time. It doesn't matter. Right, guys, I'm gonna go now. I need a drink and I need to cool down. I'll see you again on Wednesday. Keep an eye on my Discord and all that good stuff and YouTube posts and yeah. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much, guys.